Good afternoon. Well, the Coast Guard is still actively searching. Right now we have a Coast Guard cutter offshore, Coast Guard helicopter offshore, and we have a Coast Guard 45-foot patrol boat from our station here in Galveston actively searching.
And so searching by water, but also by air as well?
Correct. We have a really sophisticated system. We use both a computer database and a risk profile. Our helicopters dropped a beacon in the water really earlier this morning. We correlate those with the search patterns to try to maximize the search area that we're looking at to try to identify and locate the person that we're missing.
And what is the general area that you all are looking at right now?
So about just after 1 o'clock this morning, the Houston pilots on the way going offshore, they heard calling and they ended up locating 2 individuals in the water on the south jetty off of Galveston here. And they were able to locate 2 individuals and bring them on board. The 3rd individual is who we're looking for right now.
And what were those 3 doing out on the water at that hour?
So they were fishing. They left, this is a very popular fishing spot, and they were going offshore to fish the jetties.
Okay. Were they working on behalf of a company, or were they just out?
No, they're recreational fishing.
Recreational fishing, okay. Yeah. And 2 of them were rescued.
Correct.
Brought to the hospital. How are they doing right now?
They're doing well. We just checked with the family members that they're shaken up. They were in the water for a while, understandably they went through a lot.
And this missing 22-year-old man, what do we know about him? Do we have a name? Do we have a description? Anything you can tell us?
I'm waiting for the family to provide they're okay to provide that information, so we can get you that once they concur.
Okay. And do we know about what time the boat overturned?
Sure. So they launched on the boulevard side, which is opposite from where we're right here, about 11 o'clock last night. Just after 1 a.m. this morning is when the ship pilots heard calling. It was about 1:15 they arrived on scene, and just about 1:30 they was able to take the 2 individuals on board.
And I'm sorry, these were people on a different ship that heard them like calling out essentially?
Yes. So what we have right here offshore is all the big ships that come into Houston. They line up here to come in offshore, and the pilots go out and they get on board the ships, and they actually pilot the boat all the way up the ship channel, 65 miles. So the pilots who were going out, both the Houston and the Galveston ship pilots, they were on their way out, they heard the callings, and they both vectored to that area, and they saved 2 lives.
Wow. It's just kind of right place, right time, just happened to hear them calling out for help.
Absolutely, yep.
What were the conditions like in the water last night?
So yeah, it was, the seas were rougher, and we had up to 20-knot gusts last night, so, yep.
Any idea whether that was a factor in the boat overturning?
At this point, I can't say. Yeah.
Do we know if they had life jackets on?
So that's very important. Everybody going out fishing, going out in the waterway is always wear your life jackets. Let somebody know. In this case, they did let somebody know. Uncle of the individuals, he was going to go pick them up, and he also started calling us when they didn't show up. We do know there were some life jackets on board, so that's important.
I guess just now, I mean, it's been over, gosh, we're approaching, I think, 14 hours roughly now. I mean, with this much time that's passed, how does that change your search efforts?
No.
And is it still a rescue operation, or is it more of a recovery operation?
No, good question. Coast Guard, we do rescue operations, search and rescue. So as long as there's a probability, a chance of a success in rescuing a live person, we're out here searching. And based upon our models, with the water temperature, the air temperature, with the factors that we know about the individuals, and with the location that we're searching and the assets, we make that determination. So right now we're out here searching, and we plan to continue out here through the night.
Do we know if the missing boater was wearing a life jacket? Did his friends say?
So we do know there were some life jackets on board. We do know they were in the water for quite a long time. When they were recovered, we did recover 1 life jacket, and so we're not quite sure at this point.
Did they say what caused the boat to go over?
Don't have that information at this point. No, but it was a 12-foot boat. It was a small boat.
Very small.
How is the weather today and the water conditions impacting the rescue operations?
Yeah. No, we have pretty good search conditions right now. So if he's in that location that we're looking, we have good confidence that we'd find somebody on surface.
And is it just Coast Guard involved right now, or are there other agencies as well?
So at this point, we put out what's called urgent marine information broadcast. So we put a broadcast out to anyone who's out there, anyone who's fishing, any commercial boats out there. So all these vessels that are coming and going, they're all hearing on the radio. So that's extra eyes and ears on the water. And at this time, it is the Coast Guard leading the search.
And about how many people are involved in that search effort?
So we can get the exact numbers. We have the crew of the Alligator, about a dozen folks. We have the crew of the aircraft, 3-4 folks, and then we have the crew of the boat crew, about another four folks. So, yep.
Okay,
And,
so
then we have a whole command center, and we have layers at the command center. We have a whole watch at the command center who look at all these vectors, look at all this information, and then we have layers at the command center. I'm a search and rescue mission coordinator, so I'm like a step up from the command center, and we help guide the command center.
Is the family in this area? Are they from this area? Is he from this area?
So the family is from Houston. The individual is down here in the hospital, so they're local in the area.
In the hospital, you said the individuals in the hospital.
So the 2 individuals that were rescued. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Were they related to
Uh,
the family in the boat?
So we have 2 family members and a friend that were on the boats.
Okay, so the 2 family members are at the hospital.
Yes, 1 family member and 1 friend.
Okay. So
There's a family member missing. Yep. Yep.
But the family of the missing person is also from there.
So the missing person and the 1 individual, that was rescued, their family is together here in the hospital.
Okay.